Konnichiwa, Pint Sized fans. Welcome to JAPANOVEMBER. Welcome along to this very special three-part series celebrating some unusual and interesting beers from the nation of Japan. These ones were brought to us from Japan by Pint Sized fan Nathan, and we're so excited to try them out. But before we kick off with JAPANOVEMBER, here's a little bit of history about beer in the Golden Isle. That's not what it's called. The city that never sleeps and all the Blossom Land. Beer sprung up in Japan in the 17th century when Dutch traders on their route from the Dutch Empire to Japan and back wanted some refreshment in the port of Nagasaki. Nowadays though, beer in Japan comes from the four main suppliers: Asahi, Kirin, Sapporo and the other one, Suntory. All of these big breweries produce mainly pale coloured light lagers with an ABV around 5%. That doesn't mean that craft beer's been completely non-existent. Craft beer pubs and bars have been increasing in popularity in the major cities such as Tokyo and Osaka, and they all have vibrant craft beer scenes. Generally though, they focus on the famous craft beers from Europe and North America. That doesn't mean that there aren't local brewers in Japan producing some really interesting craft beers, and the big brewers are talking about it. And in 2015, Sapporo, maybe the biggest of them all, launched their own craft beer range. It's not all about beer though. Beer-like beverages made with lower levels of malt, called happoshu, are also proving really popular. An interesting little side story about beer in Japan is the story of the Dry Wars, started in the late 1980s. These Dry Wars engulfed all of Japan's major brewers as they strive for the title of producing the best dry beers, which from what I can find out is kind of similar to a light beer in the States, or a low carbohydrate, low carb gallery beer in England. It all kicked off with Asahi Super Dry launching in 1987, and since then the other brewers tried to launch their own, but they couldn't compete with the Asahi attempt. We haven't got the Super Dry today, but we do have one of the craft attempts from one of the big four Japanese breweries. From Suntory, we've got their Tokyo Craft. Suntory, as I said, are one of Japan's biggest and oldest brewers. They've been operating out of Osaka since 1899, and they're a pretty big deal. They're the third largest spirit producer in the world, and since they started they've bought brands like Orangina, Lucozade, Ribena, Jim Beam, Sipsmith and Lefroy. This is their Tokyo Craft. It's a 5% IPA, their 2017 Autumn Edition. It launched as a pale ale earlier this year, and I guess you'd call it a macro craft beer from Japan, which is quite exciting. Let's get it in a glass. See what it's like. So here we go, Suntory Brewery, Tokyo Craft, brewed in Tokyo, the IPA. This one is 6.5%, there's not much else to look at on the can. It's all in Japanese for some reason. Thanks once again to Pint Sized fan Nathan for sending these ones across when they went to Japan earlier this year. Let's see what they're like. So there we go, lovely amber colour, nice head as well, big carbonation on there. But that is catching the light. That is an exciting looking beer. It wants to be drunk by me. Oh, sherbet lemons. Big caramel, kind of like a yum yum or really thick caramel donut. Oh, it's chock full of donut. Delicious. Ooh, a little bit of citrus as well, but that head is getting bigger. Oh no, it's like Pacific Rim. Cheers. Whoa. Oh my god, my ears are coming out of my face. Oh yeah, what? That is not half bad. Oh yes. You got to think this is one of the country's biggest brewers. Their own craft range, I mean we would, as a beer ponce, would poo-poo all over this, but not today. I read some reviews of their pale ale that they launched their craft range with, and it got heinous reviews. I mean, it's just bland, it's tasteless, but that is explosive. Oh, it's hoppy, floral, really bitter, really just over the top bitterness, matching with that carbonation for an explosion in my mouth. It's fizzing around there. And it just makes you go back wanting more. There is caramel sweetness, a lovely toffee, kind of bready thickness to it as well. Oh, that is so unexpectedly good. I mean, it's not extraordinary, but from a massive macro brewer producing something like that, that's not half bad. If you had that from a small-time little brewery in Hokkaido, you think it was a really, really good effort, top notch. That's lovely. I mean, talking through it now, it just makes me want to go back for more. It's sweet, but that sweetness is completely cut through by that carbonation and mega bitterness around here, a little bit off the back please, just number 2. Oh yes, onward. So we're on our way with JAPANOVEMBER. Next on the show we've got a double bill, a lucky dog and a lucky cat. That's gonna be quite hairy. We'll see you next Sunday for the continuation of this really exciting series. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe if you like what you saw, click the bell for notifications, drop us a comment if you've had this beer, if you've been to Japan, what you thought of the beer, and if you like Asahi Super Dry. Is it so dry that it's just dust? Check us out on Facebook too. We'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.